If you have heard this story before, I am sorry. But, you know, when you've had traumatic experiences, you tend to want to just share it with other people. So 2 Christmases ago, after we had finished all our masses and so on, I traveled to Jamaica, but I made a stop over in Orlando because I have cousins there and I hadn't seen them for almost a decade. And they decided to spend the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day at Universal Studios. Now, if you know me at all, you know it's really not my thing. I don't do rides that turn you upside down, you know, flip you. It's just not exciting to me, you know. It's actually, give me the teapot that spins around, the train that just goes around the park. I am not about screaming while, you know, my stomach is not in my body. I just don't do it. But I decided, oh, it's, you know, lovely Floridian weather. I can just roam the park. Now, you would think at my age, I would understand the men in my family. I have 3 brothers after all, and I have a host of male cousins. So when one of my cousins said to me, there is a ride that even you, and he did use the word wimp, but even you can manage. It's a Jimmy Fallon ride. I'm like, I mean, Jimmy Fallon ride? What could that be? What could that be? A ride through New York City? You know, that sounds good. So, you know, I get on the line, and it's not those long lines that you usually see at amusement parks. I mean, you get into the building, and you walk through something that's like, you know, NBC Studios, you know, you have the NBC pages, taking your tickets, you get to sit, and you look at the posters on the wall, and then you enter the studio where you're going to see the Jimmy Fallon, whatever it is. Huge screen. You have your 3D glasses. You know, been to 3D movies. I know it's going to be kind of, you know, surround me with visions of being part of the whole experience. But then I noticed there is a seat belt on the seat. It just does not make sense. So we're told to buckle our seatbelts. I'm already, you can imagine, my heart is like racing. I'm wondering, should I have read up about this ride before I came in? And you literally feel, as the ride begins, your seat go back because it's actually moving. And the whole screen is filled with Jimmy Fallon in this race car, zooming through the streets of Manhattan, just is missing yellow cabs, down through bumpity, down the subway, and literally your seat is doing this with you. Okay, now we know technology has come far. But the theater itself is on some kind of hydraulic lift. The theater literally moves. So not only is your seat moving, the theater itself sways a couple of inches. You know what? You could have put me on the upside down ride. It was the same experience. You get the smoke, you know, you're in the subway going down the tracks, you see the subway coming towards you, smoke and sound. You are just filled with this fear and excitement and whatever. And if I knew how to get out of that place safely, if I felt that I could really put my feet on firm ground, I would have been out of there. Now, you may say that it's a little irreverent to compare that to Isaiah's vision. But Isaiah had the same feeling. Woe is me, says Isaiah, when he gets this vision of being in the Holy of Holies, filled with the presence of God. God's robe is so big, just the hem is in the sanctuary. And seraphs are just flying around, six-winged seraphs. These are not cupids, my friends. These are dragon-like creatures, as the Bible describes it, just whizzing by and singing, holy, 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 screeching loudly in praise of God. And the whole temple is shaking, moving from side to side. Isaiah is frightened for his life. He is just in the presence of this huge, huge God, the creator of all things. And he feels inadequate. Woe is me, I am a man of unclean lips, not worthy to be in this presence. But here is the thing, my friend. God comes to us even when we feel inadequate, even when we feel worthy, and makes us worthy. Isaiah is made to feel worthy and then sent out. Whom shall I send? God says. And Isaiah says, here I am, Lord. Send me. Peter is in his boat. Jesus has entered the boat. He's teaching from the boat. He sends Peter out farther into the deep. Peter fishes and brings up more fish than this experienced fisherman has ever caught, ever seen. So many fish that the boat begins to sink. And Peter too says, in this presence of Jesus, I am not worthy. And Jesus makes him worthy and says, you are not only worthy, you are equipped. You who have fished all your life will now catch people for the gospel's sake. God makes each of us worthy even when we don't feel that we can do whatever it is God has called us to do. God equips us, restores us, and makes us ready to go out and do mission. Our whole worship is set up like this. We too join the seraphs every week in singing, holy, 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 Lord God of hosts. Heaven and earth are full of your glory. We sing that song with the seraphs. And we ask for forgiveness, and that is restored. We are restored and made worthy. And then we are sent out. When we come to God and we say, we're not good enough. We don't have enough time. We don't know how. God makes us worthy and sends us to do the work. But we don't go alone. Peter looked over when that boat was sinking and saw partners in ministry. Partners who could help with the fishing, the fish, the great bounty that he had caught. We too have partners in ministry. Last week around Thursday on our Facebook page appeared a message from someone in the community, not from St. Jude, but the wider community. And the message said, my daughter has been collecting items for your mission center and we want to drop them off. Would someone meet us there? And Ginny Zorn and some other leaders, Barbara Rice, went and met this family at the mission center. A bounty was collected for the mission center that needed help. Every week we ask for help because the need is so great. We serve so many people, doing so much good, but sometimes we cannot do it alone. And so on Friday, Ginny put up on Facebook this message. We often send out a message asking for help to fill our shelves at the Mission Center in Seaford. We are so grateful to everyone who answers that call. Last night, I had the pleasure of meeting Aislinn and Abby, along with their mother, Kristen. They had coordinated a drive for us with their track team and spent many hours collecting food and supplies at the track meets. We were overwhelmed by their efforts and donations. These girls are amazing. Restored, enabled, sent, and given partners. When you are called, when you feel that tug on your heart, when a little word says to you, maybe that is the work God has for me, whether it's in church or out there in the world, know this: God will equip you, make you worthy, give you all the resources you need to get it done. When the question comes, whom shall I send? May our answer be, speak, Lord. No. Your answer be, here I am, Lord. I've come to do your will. Amen.
Amen.